Can you feel it? Because I can feel it. 2026 is gonna be an awesome year, a huge year for role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, with some of the biggest RPGs announcing exciting new projects and more indie publishers than ever taking our beloved fantasy genre in fun new directions. But we all know actually getting a new RPG to your table, like on the table actually playing it, that's hard stuff. Reading the rules, learning new terms, new mechanics, convincing your players to actually try it, that all takes time that a lot of us don't have. So today, we're taking just the first step, focusing on one of my favorite games that I think every fantasy lover should try, and the 5 easiest ways you can try it in your next session of whatever game you're playing. Because I'm Bob. This is where we learn how to have more fun playing RPGs together, and right now is the greatest opportunity ever to check out this RPG. Yeah, it is impossible to express the value here without sounding like a used car salesman, but here it goes. This month, I'm partnering with the publisher of Dungeon Crawl Classics, Goodman Games, who's offering almost the entire library of DCC, over 100 books, including my own tiny DCC book, all worth over $1,000 for the price of one book. $40. And actually that's less than one D&D book. And no, that's not a monthly subscription cost or a sweepstakes or something. It is so much better than that. You can own all this material as part of a charity fundraiser put together by Humble Bundle, the other sponsor of this video, for Child's Play, an organization that provides toys and games to children in hospitals around the world. And if that isn't the coolest way to start an awesome year of gaming, I don't know what it... Oh wait, I do know one thing. I have a fun little homework assignment for you at the end of this video. Number 1, the easiest way to drop a little Dungeon Crawl Classics into D&D, Shadowdark, Pathfinder, Daggerheart, whatever, is with the spells. Literally, when I run any other game, my players will occasionally find a magic scroll, or a potion, or some single-use item that casts the DCC version of a common spell, and they get very excited when they see that distinction on the index card or whatever I'm handing them. But Bob, why would I waste my prep time replacing 5E's Enlarge Reduce with an equivalent spell of another fantasy RPG?
Because, you fool, these spells have no equivalence.
Excuse me. If you haven't heard me say it before, DCC magic is raw and weird and fun, similar to wild magic in D&D, because every spell is a random table with an incredible range of results. So giving your players a consumable magic item, that's important, is the perfect way to test these waters without breaking your game. For example, DCC's Enlarge spell might make you double in size, or you might only grow a couple inches, or you might triple the size of up to 3 targets, or the caster transforms themselves or one target into a giant of truly godlike proportions, or you might just grow fur all over your body and accidentally enlarge the nearest adversary, or maybe nothing happens. And I love this as a game master because it doesn't feel like pausing the game, pausing the fun to double check how a spell works. It feels like everyone at the table, GM included, sharing in this moment of discovery to find out what happens next. Mechanically speaking, these tables work because every spell in DCC requires a D20 roll to cast. That's D20 plus intelligence or wisdom plus character level, and you can use the same rule in most fantasy games, or just replace level with proficiency bonus in 5e, or replace 1d20 with your 2d12 for Daggerheart, and your results will stay about the same. Also, while most fantasy RPGs limit the use of scrolls to casters only, I don't like that. So any character can try to cast this spell from a scroll. The only problem is that they might roll really low and the spell doesn't work, which could be funny or it could be disappointing for this single-use item. So to help keep it fun, the number 2 easiest way to sprinkle in some DCC is... Oh wait, no, actually, okay. Sometimes I get comments when I talk about my preference for games with small rulebooks about how the DCC core rulebook is over 500 pages, and they're absolutely right, but you gotta remember, it has only one core rulebook, and almost 200 of these 500 pages are all the awesome spell tables, overflowing with inspiring, fantastical effects. So, if you foolishly don't want anything else from this awesome charity bundle, take a look at the core rules so you can read all the spells. Number 2, the second easiest import from DCC is luck. And you got a few ways to approach this. You got the luck stat, where every PC in your game gets a new number on their character sheet, rolled with the same method as your other stats, or just use an average result. But the player can permanently reduce this stat to boost their own rolls, burning points 1-to-1 for a bonus before or after they roll. I love it for those moments when a player is 1 point away from success or from the enemy's last hit point and they burn luck to tilt the odds, and sometimes for that crucial roll when the player gets to have that moment and say, screw it, I'm all in, and burn a bunch of luck points all at once, and either case can be helpful for that single-use DCC spell scroll to get an awesome result. But luck is also great for GMs in those moments when your mind goes blank and you can't make a decision over something as simple as, hey GM, does this general store have caltrops? Just roll luck. And if the player rolls equal to or under their luck stat, then the universe decided for you that the store has caltrops. And alright, okay, I know some people are already commenting it. Currencies to change rolls are not everybody's favorite thing, so for you, I offer the Lucky Sign, aka Birth Augur, where every character gets a bonus to one random feature by virtue of their birth. For example, born in a harsh winter, you get a bonus to all attack rolls. Whoa! Raised by wolves, bonus to unarmed attack rolls. Fox's Cunning, bonus to finding and disabling traps. Bird Song, bonus to the number of languages you know. Basically, an astrological sign for your character that determines one use for their luck stat modifier. And this is ripe for homebrew, because you could just treat this as a flat +2. Or you could decide that it's advantage for that roll, or you can give characters a chance to change their stars and align this Birth Augur better with their other skills. In any case, using luck is tilting the pinball machine of the cosmos, giving GMs plenty of excuses for the gods or other extraplanar powers to take notice of the party and perhaps even restore those permanently lost points of luck. 'Cause yeah, DCC is well known for its modules thrusting the players into extraplanar shenanigans at all levels of play. And lucky for you, most of the books in this ridiculously cheap and also charitable bundle do just that. Like, is it my fault if I sound like a used car salesman if the deal and the content is actually that good? But this is certainly the case for the Dying Earth series, the Purple Planet series, other literary callbacks like The Queen of Elfland's Son, and even Level 0 adventures like The Hole in the Sky or the infamous Sailors on the Starless Sea. But you might have noticed something. That Birth Augur table has not 20, but 30 results. A D30 table. What? Yes. It can't be. Oh, yes it can. No, but like a 30-sided die would just keep rolling and rolling. Yeah. Like it would actually be kind of tricky to use. Yeah, you're right. That's true. It rolls a lot. Nonetheless, the number 3 easiest way to get some of that iconic DCC weirdness to your table is just to get a set of the special 7 funky dice. Need to choose a random character to get attacked by the boss? Roll 1d5. Player asks what day of the week it is in-game? Roll 1d7. Wish you had more options between d12 and 20 when making your own random tables? Use the D14 or 16. I use the D3 often for round timers or really minor damage when even a D4 feels like too much, and I sometimes give players the option to roll 1D24 or D30 for advantage in 5e and Shadow Dark instead of 2D20 take the highest, because you might roll a lot higher, but there's no bell curve to help you out. Fun choices. That's what RPGs are all about. Plus, these weird dice give you the same curious feeling from the first time you held a D20 or D8 before those shapes became familiar. And while Humble Bundles are almost always just big collections of PDFs, this one comes with a coupon to get 50% off your first set of funky dice if you are so inclined. And we got 2 more fun things to cover until we get to your homework, so here we go. Number 4 mostly comes down to your play style, because it's like the anti-game mechanic, Mighty Deeds of Arms. Quote, "The mechanic for Mighty Deeds of Arms was designed to encourage exciting stunts by ambitious warriors in the tradition of literary heroes. The goal was to create a rule system that encouraged situation-specific freedom without creating a lot of cumbersome rules. Basically, it's designed to give DCC warriors the opportunity for a Matt Mercer, how do you want to do this, on every single attack, incentivizing the player to use their imagination and to improve or improvise epic maneuvers in combat. Like the stuff a D&D Battlemaster fighter can do, but instead of predetermined maneuvers, costs, and benefits, the only barriers are how high you roll and the GM's final approval. Rule of cool at its finest. And most groups playing D&D and other fantasy games already do this for critical hits, allowing a little something extra to make the moment more memorable. This rule just creates more of those moments. And the rules are: declare your deed before the attack, roll 1d20 plus strength plus deed die, and if the deed die result is 3 or higher and the attack hits, you roll damage and describe the deed with GM approval. So this deed die is easily dropped into 5e by replacing proficiency bonus with the proficiency dice optional rule shown here. And I haven't tested this yet for Shadow Dark, but I think you could probably replace the strength modifier of the attack with a die that has the same average result. And you can kinda do this in Daggerheart already just by rolling with hope, because obviously they wanted to design for more Matt Mercer, how do you want to do this moments. But those moments are extra satisfying when your character is neither a Daggerheart fantasy superhero nor a Shadow Dark capable adventurer. Number 5. The least easy item on our list for how to try DCC, but obviously worth it because some people only know this game for this one aspect of it. Play a level 0 one-shot. Any one-shot is a great way to keep your game night going when you need a break from the current campaign, and these are relatively low prep when it comes to trying a new RPG, because you don't need to know anything about character options. You randomly generate your level 0 characters at the start of the session. Each player makes 2 to 4, so you have about 10 to 15 of these weird little peasants in your party. Then you run them through a starter adventure where a bunch of them die, but the survivors, through genuine natural selection, can become level 1 characters for future adventures. That's how these sessions got nicknamed funnels, and why they've already been formally built into the Shadow Dark core rules as gauntlets, and why DCC has a bunch of crazy 0-level modules. But I warn you, even within this one session, you will grow attached to some of these weird little guys doomed to die, but that makes it all the more surprising and rewarding when they reach the other side. And now, the fun and creative and pretty easy homework assignment while all the books available in this epic charity bundle scroll by, linked below, don't forget it. You are going to create 1 magic scroll. Bonus points if it uses a DCC spell, but the points don't matter. Make it for whatever game you want. The real requirement is to go all in on description. It is not a rolled up piece of parchment. It's a carved stone slab or a leaf with runes formed out of its veins. You will write no more than 3 sentences describing this scroll using at least 2 different senses: sight, touch, sound, odor, even taste if you're feeling funky. And just making it is awesome, but I also want you to share it with me and your fellow scroll makers in the comments on the free Patreon post linked below by January 15th. And I encourage all patrons and channel members to discuss your work and share feedback in the new Builder Club channel on our Discord. Finally, Grace World Destroyer and I will review some of our favorites in an upcoming podcast episode around the end of January. I don't know the date yet. And if you need inspiration, look no further than the rich pulp fantasy prose of Dungeon Crawl Classics. Oh wow, we're still scrolling, by the way. So thanks again to Goodman Games and Humble Bundle letting me join them for this, well, really just such a great cause. Thank you for watching, and keep building.